The New York Jets released Le'Veon Bell just 19 months after signing him, reminding you that they are a complete and utter clown show. The New York Jets are clueless. Now understand, Le'Veon Bell made headlines for social media tough guy thumbs and tweets and liking posts that were anti-Adam Gase and the coaching staff. Last year, he went to a bowling alley when he was out for a game with a flu. But let's be honest here. Do you see the numbers with the Jets? Le'Veon Bell was never utilized, and it was completely and utterly absurd. But I think it's important here to go in chronological order to explain how the New York Jets are the worst. It starts with ownership. It starts with Woody Johnson. It starts with Christopher Johnson. It starts with 2019, when Christopher and Woody Johnson let Mike Maccagnan hire Adam Gase, and Mike Maccagnan signed the free agents, including Le'Veon Bell and C.J. Mosley, and then let him run the draft, and then fired him. I mean, this on the screen is everything. Who does it in this order? Only the Jets. And sorry, Adam Gase, but it's very relevant on how you utilize Le'Veon Bell, because you can make the case Bell is not the player that he was, but he surely is the best weapon on the New York Jets, and certainly still a starting running back in the NFL. And even though you didn't want him on the football team, I mean, what you're doing in New York is a disaster. You're supposed to be an offensive guru. By the way, Adam Gase also at his press conference today said that he asked his coaching staff if he could still call the plays, and they all unanimously said yes. Because when it's the worst, just keep the train on the tracks, right? Jets are going 0-16. The Jets are unequivocally going 0-16. They're not winning a game all year long. And I got to tell you, I always defend Joe Douglas, who's only made one mistake since taking over from Mike Maccagnan, and that was when he let Robbie Anderson walk this offseason as a free agent. Robbie Anderson's doing brilliant things for Matt Rule and the Carolina Panthers. But Joe Douglas made a mistake by releasing Le'Veon Bell. He made a mistake releasing Le'Veon Bell before firing Adam Gase. It should have been the next head coach who had influence and impact on whether or not Le'Veon Bell, who is still a starting running back in the NFL, and Adam Gase failed to use him and keeps running 98-year-old Frank Gore. The next head coach should have had impact and influence on whether or not Le'Veon Bell stays on the roster. This is a complete and utter disgrace, a complete and utter clown show, also known as Jets football. Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans absolutely positively tremendous last night in a thunderous statement win over the Buffalo Bills. They smashed Buffalo. That's a great Buffalo team. And you have to give Ryan Tannehill and A.J. Brown a ton of credit. You forget how great A.J. Brown is. Obviously, the Titans haven't played in a couple of Sundays, and he was injured earlier in the season. There's a reason why I voted A.J. Brown Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. Malcolm Brown with a couple of interceptions. Listen, this team was tough. They were opportunistic, and no one at the end of the day was more prototypical of the effort and the energy for the Tennessee Titans than my guy, Derrick Henry. I mean, poor Josh Norman. I mean, he's going to be seeing this forever. Look at this. Get out of the way. That is the ultimate angry run, as our friend Kyle Brandt would say, on the incredibly well-produced Good Morning Football show. That is just unbelievable from our guy, Derrick Henry, and that's Titans football. Look, they are a great team, and they're undefeated for a reason, and they deserve a lot of credit. But I'm telling you right now, do not downgrade the Buffalo Bills, okay? First of all, anyone ripping Josh Allen for that, please. He hits Andre Roberts right in the hand. Now, this is a bad throw, right? In the third quarter, that was a terrible throw by Josh Allen. But you have people flying off the handle, Adam. Come on, Buffalo's not that good. Buffalo's 4-1. Josh Allen deserved all the praise. Let's also remember Trey White, who in my opinion is the best corner in the NFL. He didn't play last night. John Brown, who does an excellent job in terms of streaking down the field for Josh Allen and Sean McDermott, he didn't play last night. So, and I'm not minimizing the Tennessee win. No. Not at all. I think Tennessee is tremendous. They deserve all the credit in the world. They destroyed the Buffalo Bills, and Buffalo deserves to be criticized for last night. But there is perspective here. And I'm telling you right now, if you jump off the bandwagon, Bills Mafia jumping off a table style, I will not let you back. Tennessee, they are a great, well-coached team. Credit Mike Vrabel. But I'm telling you right now, the Buffalo Bills are winning the division. They're going to win a home playoff game, and the Buffalo Bills are going to be A-OK. Love that from Mike Tomlin. Welcome back, Time to Shine. And joining us once again on the show, NFL and CBS analyst, our good friend, the great Amy Trask. And Amy, you just heard that from Coach Tomlin, not taking the low-hanging fruit with regards to Myles Garrett taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. We all know what happened last year. So how does Mike Tomlin keep his team focused on a gigantic ball game on CBS coming up this weekend?
Well, look, coaches are having a lot of practice keeping teams focused this year with all that is going on with the virus protocols and games moving and games being changed, the dates, the weeks. So of all the noise he has to quiet, this is not the noisiest. That said, he's absolutely right to try to quiet this down and calm this down. But Adam, I will tell you this, based on my experience in the league, there are absolutely some players in each of those locker rooms that will have this in mind, no matter how much their coaches try to tamp it down.
You nailed it, Amy, and I think it would be naive to think otherwise. Yes, this is going to be something that's going to be on the mind of the players without question. I'm curious to get your take on everything going on with the Atlanta Falcons, who fired their head coach and their general manager, but flashing it forward, and Arthur Blank had some interesting comments here in terms of the quarterback. If you're Atlanta, would you make a quarterback change? Would you move on from Matt Ryan?
Well, there are business implications to moving on from Matt Ryan. There are financial implications and there are cap implications. But if the team can and is willing to take on those implications, then I think the new head coach and the new general manager should be given tremendous leeway in making this decision. Again, assuming that the team can afford from a cash standpoint to move on and a cap standpoint, give your new coach and your new GM great leeway. Now, Adam, you know I have never been the all-in Matt Ryan fan that many people have been. So, sure, take a look at moving on if the business implications allow you to do so.
Jimmy Garoppolo, Amy, was benched in San Francisco. And by the way, there is a correlation here. You know, Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan certainly did great things together in Atlanta. But bigger picture here, specifically when it comes to Jimmy G, do the Niners need to be big picture in the quarterback business?
I think they do. And let me be clear, Adam, both with respect to Matt Ryan and Jimmy Garoppolo. These are fine quarterbacks. They're not bad quarterbacks. I have just never been as sold on either of them being as terrific as many people believe they are. I do think both teams should look at alternatives, but before they move on, they have to answer the question I always ask, and do what? If you're going to move on from Matt Ryan, if you're going to move on from Jimmy G, you better have an answer to that question that is better than the status quo. Now, in terms of Matt Ryan and Jimmy G, I would look at moving on from Jimmy G more so than I would with respect to Matt Ryan. But in either case, if you don't have a better answer, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point. And listen, and you saw changes in the offseason in Carolina, and they are doing a heck of a job. The Panthers' rebuild is certainly right now ahead of schedule with Matt Rule and Teddy Bridgewater and Joe Brady. How impressed are you with what's going on in Carolina?
Well, Adam, you know me well enough to know I'm not a rush to quick conclusions kind of girl. Certainly things look promising, but we are only 5 games into Matt Rule's career in Carolina. He may end up being a terrific head coach. I just don't yet know. So to put it in legal terms, given my background, my jury is still out on how this will work out. And oh, by the way, I'm my jury. So he may be a terrific coach. We just don't know yet. But as to Teddy B, I shall always and forever wish him all the very best and root and cheer for his every success.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.